Good morning, classroom. Angels of Love and Light, I welcome you in my divine panel. You are also welcome to divinely intervene as needed for my highest good, aka the highest good. You're doing wonders already. I shall never lose my cowbell again. So, this is 2ndsies of Authorizing Officer Tuesday. And I have come to a decision. Well, I'm leaning more towards that decision. And what is that decision? I think I'm going to my high school reunion. What is it? Romeo and Michelle style? Kind of like that. Stag, anyway. Representation of self. And I realize there's nothing really to be ashamed of or scared of, and just go in lighthearted. I'm not committed to anything. I think it's a good way to do some housekeeping, for sure. Like sometimes we get comfortable with certain parts of our lives, even if they've passed. And let me put on this fan, let me tell you. Oh, okay. Whoosh. Gotta put in that too. But you know, like, I feel like I've only come to this realization at this point, is that I think sometimes we get comfortable with placing certain things in boxes, even in our past, things that which we have no toil over, that we don't have any like bad blood with. And even though I don't have like great things associated with like, how do I say it? Like, when I look at high school, I would love to say that I would love to have it been for real, like Cyndi Lauper's, you know, girls just want to have fun type of energy. And that wasn't, in some, I guess, the case for me. But that didn't make it all the worse. Like, it could have been a terrible, terrible experience. But my takeaway was quite different from others there, in a, I would say, privileged setting. Going to private school is a privilege. Going to school is a privilege. So, but that also means, looking at that I didn't have a silver spoon fed, you know. I wasn't like that. There were certain sacrifices that happen behind the scene. There's certain compromises, and even with those invested in those sacrifices, as good-hearted as they are, there's still a consequence to what is put on the line. And we all go through our own experiences of how to deal with, how to better manage changes in our lives, so that it eliminates, if not reduces, resentment. And so when you experience that from a different facet, that's part of your intake valve. So you know, I'm not going to get upset over what judgments are made from my peers. I think it's just great. It's at least great intent to go their baseline, and knowing that my life is in the mode of changing in a particular route that is custom built for me, and I'm the co-pilot in building, the one in the driver's seat, that it's important that I do housekeeping. And so this is a great area in which I will challenge the comfort levels of what my takeaway was or is with a crowd that was once my peers. And you can't be afraid of formally saying goodbye. When you have higher and fire capabilities and you're taking main stage at the podium, you have to be very decisive and not hold on to knickknacks, you know. It's important to just sort through so that my end days are going to be more light-hearted than most. But even without that comparison, that's I would like to alleviate as much worry and strife as possible for my loved ones, for those that look up to me. I would like to alleviate as many troubles as possible upon passing. So, let's see here. This is the 2ndsies of Authorizing Officer Tuesday. And I took a new route today in conflict resolution. I realized that my children are being affected by ill workings, and it's intermittent, but the fact is that there's tampering in my realm, within my domestic realm, and even when my kids are in transit and whatnot, that's still part of my domestic realm. So I think it's natural for me not to thug out in an area where I'm, you know, filled with ego and like, well, that means that they're disrespecting me. It's more so they have no place in that type of engagement. So it requires and warrants corrective action, effective immediately. And in being decisive, you can't just linger around things that are high priority. And I consider that high priority. So my divine panel will make arrangements in order for, if it's not already done, which I feel like it's already in progress, because when I parked my car after the final, you know, errand, casual errand, Voodoo came on from Bassnectar, and every time that comes on, I know that there are ill workings happening, and that's just one of the cues that I receive. Like, it's deliberate, it's active, it's just like a certificate that you receive, a certificate of authenticity from the ethers that a certain shiz is going down in spiritual warfare. And I've learned to receive these memos without any fear. It's just a point of validation, like, okay, well, I'm on the right path as far as how I'm correcting it, and it's coming naturally, organically, and with the least amount of stress as possible. And with these happenings, there's no reason for me nor my loved ones to feel victimized, but to understand what kind of energetics are out there and how to better realize one's own value, which also means in protecting that space. And so this is an optimal time for me to become like a real life teacher out on the field with that built-in intention. And I thought about it, and I was wondering, like, am I supposed to get certification towards classes and in teaching in order to be validated to do this or that? And, you know, the universe works its ways, its magical ways, in order to bear certain realities in our lives. And I know that's true for me, so I don't have to go a traditional route when I'm already going through certain sums of trials. I don't need to go through that cookie cutter route. And so I get to teach my kids. I get to teach those who I recognize value in. And that's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing. And I get to represent myself at this reunion properly, how I would in any other case. I think it's a wonderful opportunity for me to do the housekeeping that's required, so I don't have to pretend and assume that people are that this realm is neutral as far as wagering whether or not they're a support system or not, whether they're just acquaintances or just people that I've come into passing in different phases of my life, and that's over with. It's seeking true closure so that I can really summon my energy, my power, and focus it in areas that are not so loosely held. So in going back to this like high school reunion or anything of that similarity, it's holding yourself accountable for your relationships, and putting yourself in that position of saying yay or nay. Does that serve any purpose for me or not? And this is a wonderful practice, so it doesn't reach, like, you don't have to be put in situations where it's like it's make or break. It's how do I say it, where there's a possibility of bad blood there. It doesn't need to, like, my world doesn't need to veer into utter realms of chaos in order for me to step into that position and say yay or nay. Sometimes closure can be that simple realm of housekeeping, like, is this crowd for me or not, or any like ratio, like I can do my marketing as far as understanding and observation, the ratio, based on this ratio here, like my field test, who is receptive or who's on the same wavelength, and if they're not, like, it's just trying to really understand what is really my support system. And just also the wonderful blessing is looking at other perspectives, looking at other case studies, and seeing how everyone else is doing. So this is a really great experience. I've never felt this way ever before. And like I said, it's been, gosh, 20 to 25 years or so. So I don't know how many reunions they've attempted at, but I know that there's some really great energetics out there. Give me a second. So why not be practical? And you're saying, similar to these pants, Dude, I didn't I didn't wear these pants for the longest time because like, you see, I would have to, there's a slight, you know, thing about having to hem them and me not having the appropriate sewing tools at the time and just holding off on it. It's hard to do that with, like, you know, stretchy sheer fabric. And I tried to wear some business pants. They could not overlap over there. I was like, oh God, what's I had to, like, change my name in order to fit that look. And even still, it was just so uncomfortable. I tried to box myself in, like, okay, now you're so-and-so today. Just to make light of the situation. Like, you would feel more comfortable calling yourself this and like you're in character now. And it just, I couldn't sit with that, with however long this was going to be. So I decided to try this on. And I decided I was going to be faux pas fashionable or something, because this is sheer, right? And I'm wearing I didn't realize what kind of underwear I was wearing, except that it felt like close fitting, and and like so these are these have built-in, as you can see, like, look at that. So I'm wearing I just figured, hold on. Okay, so it's cute. Like, you can't really. Okay, so it has like that to it, and then like I thought that was funny, but I was like, am I gonna change my underwear? No, this is completely fashionable. It's the new trend. I don't know. I thought it was I thought, you know, I'm covered. And I found pants that I could wear that fit me, that aren't leggings. Hello. So anyway, in sharing with you yesterday, my toys, or one of them, in Discovery, I realized I'm kind of figuring out my own demons along the way, especially with these examples of what do you call it? You know, just revisiting the past in its soft core version. So I remember, like, this popped into my head, this, you know, and I figured let's go ahead and determine what my spirit creature, fantastic and mythological creature, from historic sources, like whether they are, because some of them I think may be demons or whatnot, you know, they're just beasts. So what is my spirit animal? What's my spirit totem out of this? I thought it would be just very interesting. I haven't opened this book for a while. In fact, this is when was it made? This is lovely, though. I think I got it at the library. 1981. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, so, my divine panel, let's start off with, well, let's start off with this first. My cards, okay? On the left side, I have King of Cups in reverse, the recipient energy. And then on the right side, 10 of Swords energy. So this is 2ndsies of Authorizing Officer Tuesday. And okay, so, oh gosh, I have to, like, make a U-turn. Let's finish that story. So my younger son, should I talk about this? First off, let's get some validation here. My divine panel, shall I talk about this? Is it safe to talk about? Knight of Cups in reverse. And that doesn't quite tell me. Page of Pentacles. So I don't need to make it like a flowery story, but it's I can show my findings, you know. Like, look what the cat dragged in, you know, that kind of energy. So I can do that. So he has had stomach pains for the past few days. This is coming from his dad's house, but it affected his school yesterday and yet again today. And from what I've assessed through the Q&A process of determining, you know, just going through the process of elimination, what the causations may be, I realized that someone is, or a grouping is attacking him in the same abdominal area. You know, when I told you, like, I would, you know, have to burp several times, etc. And walking would help alleviate some of that. You know, just all of these things. That's what was happening. So I had to cater to that. Taking care of my son. And so on the way back, like I said, my last errand, I heard that messaging of Voodoo. And so the King of Cups in reverse, this is a manipulator of emotional states, the intuitive bodies. This is someone who is masculine, but has very toxic masculine qualities. From what I have received in the past few months, the King of Cups in reverse was always cued into, if I'm looking at the pentacle energetic, the physical realm, that would be the boss, the EVP. So he's guilty of doing this, you know, with the Ten of Swords. You see, like someone's like basically bedridden there on the doing side. So it's there was a ricochet of energy going back to its return back to sender automatically, because that's my doing side. This is on my inbox, so there has to be some kind of assessment and digestion of understanding what the problem areas are, and doing whatever I can do. And I don't have to do the most. Like, this is not supposed to be a point of stress, but like kind of a summation of pop quizzes and giving me the opportunity to teach. So with that, the universes recognize my intention, my energies, and where I'm at. And so the Ten of Swords is like I'm slaying, basically. Now, if we're looking outside of the pentacle energy and looking into like beyond the veil, like the highest divinity forms, this is Spirit and Cash. This is Jesus Christ energy, like low-key, like just chilling out in the back, you know, of the classroom, just there for immediate backup. And so this is wonderful in Authorizing Officer Tuesday, because it gives a lot of context there. So anything else that you want to say on my divine panel with regards to that before I pick my spirit totem? Ace of Wands. So this is definitely like you get first choice, first pickings, basically. This is a suit of high creativity. This is being propagated in a new place. Like I said, like the divine has just mysterious ways in the way that they test and assess on a higher level. They're telling me, it's a just remember that these are different kinds. This is a different kind of independent study for you, Tina. It's very much like private school, but independent study in in your learnings. And so I'm tested and assessed in a very different manner, and by a crew that cannot be like poisoned, you know, that cannot be is it defiled? That cannot be shaken, that it's very stable, okay? That they, what is it? When they cannot be, there's a specific word for it. Compromised. So, it looks like I passed a test, and that I am propagated in a new area. Like, this is evergreen status that can survive fires. And when you propagate something, they're not immediately like happy about, they're not like immediately energized. There's still a realm of being acclimated and like being uprooted, like the stress of being uprooted from a certain environment. And so there's a little bit of wilting here, expressed here, but this is clearly depicting like, Tina, you passed the test. So you're being moved in a more fitting location. So like I said, in the yesterday's, or in the last reading, it was, it puts it into huge perspective. You know, like, if being held at gunpoint, I see myself in the position of responding and like, oh, I wonder what Spirit has in mind next, you know? Like, I wonder what Spirit has in mind. Rather than experiencing, like, the thorough depths of fear or anger, as, you know, being put in that situation of, like, the ultimate ultimatum, why I was directed to, like, it was just natural for me to be like, you know, just kind of surrender and just be more curious about what Spirit has in mind next, you know? What Spirit's next move? Like, what's going to happen? So, yeah, that's what I feel like right now. Rather than being put in a holding tank and like wondering like, when's my time, you know, when is it gonna happen for me? And it's not like I'm here just like a sitting duck wondering like, okay, where is this, you know, thing? I'm doing things as I'm called to do. And it's a challenge for me because like I don't, it's completely out of the box. So, you know, I don't have to, what they're telling me is I don't have to worry as much about other people's judgments, even if they come from like court systems or authority, you know, realms of authority. What do you call it? Titled authority, you know? I don't have to worry about that, because anyone that's going to judge me indifferently or cast like away with me, there's another realm of judgment under that umbrella. So I don't have to accentuate that. I don't have to be part of that venue. And I realized just That's the main thing. So, what do you want to see in my divine panel? I'm just wondering, like, what Spirit has in mind now. King of Pentacles in reverse. Why do I keep getting this? King of Pentacles in reverse also is, like, when we're looking at the face value of this card, it's someone that is put in a position of power that is, that doesn't belong in power. Like, this is a boss that isn't supposed to be in their position. They did something dark in order to obtain this position. They abuse and manipulate through realms of wealth. They try to tempt you into places that ultimately cause doom and harm. So, what's the clarifier to that? Is this like, is that the energetics that are around me? Like, Three of Swords in reverse. So, again, the universes are, my divine panel is just reiterating, like, ultimately, the divine, has no bad blood with me. They mean no harm with me. So this is just kind of conditioning me to be the energetic that I need to be. So it's not focused on the energies of manipulation, but my role in the matter and accepting accountability for like what I can bring to the table, which is something far more superior, an example setter. So in order to be that, I can either do it like undercover, underground status, which I'm currently at, but there's ways in which to shift and accommodate the eyes of the world, and kind of earning the trust of others through ways which that they feel comfortable with. So like with some crowds, because of the way they were raised, if I am to be received more positively by putting on a jacket or pants, like even at starting level, at this level, just that kind of reaches some sort of a middle ground, because it's still kind of hot, like my armpits are clammy right now. It'll still contribute to the receptivity of others. Like, everybody's on a growth path. So I want to get one more card of clarification for that King of Swords in reverse. We'll put that in the middle with the Three of Swords in reverse up front. So what's in the back seat of that energetic as a clarifier? The Devil card in reverse. So this is not forcing something, but also understanding the needs of certain communities, certain other energetics. It's understanding where they came from, and if they're more receptive to listening, and the only thing that's really like holding them back is that I need to cover up 10 more centimeters of my body. That's their comfort level. That's their like kind of middle ground. Then so be it. I don't mind that. I don't feel like I'm selling out to try to get another person in my head count. You know what I mean? Like, so there is some middle ground there. So okay, now what is my fantastic and mythological creature beast energy totem? This one. Wait, which one? Which one feels right? They want me to go back to like the... Oh, so it's this energetic right there. I don't know what that is. It says horned humanoid mask, Kansu, 2000 BC. Huh. Horned humanoid mask, Kansu, K-A-N-S-U. I want to look that up. This is on page... It doesn't give me a page. That's okay. Okay, let me just look up with my other phone. Okay, cancel. Okay, so Kansu, K-A-N-S-U. Oh. Kansu. I don't even know what they mean by humanoid. Is that just human-like? Kansu. What is the meaning of Kansu? Definitions of Kansu: noun, a province in north-central China, formerly part of Silk Road of Turkestan in India and Persia. Synonyms: Gansu, Gansu province. I don't know. Is that right? Kansu meaning... I guess the substitute is using G, Gansu, or Kansu, K-A-N-S-U, meaning in English is bronze. Give me a second. Kansu, 2000 BC. So what is that? It's Neolithic period in China. Is that right? That's... It doesn't show Kansu there, but why would it... Okay, Gansu, the Mojo culture, and part of Kijia, I don't know, culture took root in Gansu from 3100 BC to 2700 BC and 2400 BC to 1900 BC, respectively. Okay, I did not expect that. What is it? Horned humanoid. Yeah. So the interesting thing about this is, so I'm going to read into this further, is that this energetic here, this totem of mine, it's kind of like the horned goddess, but very much unbothered, like its eyes are closed shut and lips pursed. So this is observation without providing immediate input to direct parties. So that's my spirit totem here. That's interesting. Yeah, it's being unbothered, especially by certain techniques of having to come at me. And you know that you're those are dirty, like foul energies when they have to go through those methods. So you just let them speak their energies, okay? You let the universes deal with that. You converse with the right people, with the right energetics, and things will come into fruition accordingly. You don't waste your time in like having to do this like a warring of return to sender or whatever. I don't need to be involved in that. That's why I was taken away from that that environment. So, you know, let the divine handle it from there. That is the Nine of Swords accentuated on incoming. And do note that this golden bird is chained to a casket. It's dragging along a casket. So if it's accentuated, it's they cannot stress it enough. Like there's something coming on the inbox, and I'm not going to prejudge it because that could mean a variety of things. So what do you want to tell me? My divine panel on authorizing officer Tuesday. Yeah. 7 of Cups inverted. So this is engaging in the dream state. This is creating more options for myself. When you realize that there's a whole new way of dealing with things, it becomes revolutionary. It's when you learn how to move in different ways, other options come to surface. So yeah, I wanted to nearly bend in my hand, and when I wanted to put it back in here, it just wanted to make itself known. So anything else that I need to know? My divine panel. This fell on the book. It is a Lover's card. It is a Lover's card. It fell on the bottom left, upright. So this is self-actualization for sure. It's also gaining great relationships, that also coming to surface. And you know, I'm not gonna get bummed about like, or have an attitude about it being, you know, just assessing the way things are right now, and not seeing a physical like face or body or identity of who these people are right in the here and now. This is kind of like a hallmarker being landed on the book near the spine, like the base of the spine. That's like a repetition that I can count on. So anything else that you want to say, my divine panel? 5 of Pentacles in reverse. There is no lacking to that. It's highlighting the horns here, or this as horns. So it's being unbothered. So there's no lacking to whatever comes to my plate, especially in these relationships. So again, I just, every time I think back on the assessment of what my intent is there, am I just gonna like just sit there and just, you know, wait for something to happen and see how things are at my reunion? And I think this is more of an active role where I get to do basically a casual interview on and interface with people that came from a more privileged state of transition points, and doing the housekeeping. Like I'll know for sure the truth of where of what those energetics are, and who I need to say goodbye to, if individual, if not some, and just move forward accordingly with my energies more concise and in practice. I mean, this is the most practical way of handling things. So this is great. I feel like this is actually really, really good. Okay, anything else that you want to say, my divine panel? Okay, 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Again, a common theme. Here it's like you're gaining your independence, you know, you're basically growing up, and you know, I remember, I don't know why it got removed from, or why I chose to remove it. I think it became too cliche, to commercialize, like progress, not perfection. You know, like certain buzz phrases like woke. And so I think I got really turned off by it and started excluding it, omitting it from my my like hashtag identifiers in my videos. um yeah, for sure. And so it's just like you're growing up, but you can't discount the efforts in gaining your independence. um there's nothing at a lacking to say that you're getting there. um yeah, so bottom of the deck, the Magician. You can do anything you want to do, Tina. You can get there. You're getting there, in fact. Um, what's behind the Magician? Ten of Pentacles, even better. See, things are turning up even better in practice. So it's not just gaining your independence, Tina, and finding the freedom at that, and feeling free in the interim, like in the making progress mode. Um, like doing things without it feeling so cumbersome, like not letting it get to you. um, yeah, there's going to be more coming from it, you know, the maximum amount. So what's no secret to my saucies on this Authorizing Officer Tuesday? 2ndsies is Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Like, that's right, you don't need to do too much. You don't need to, like, putting the work in and showing the effort doesn't mean you have to be like grueling, like you just you're one of the characters in Pirates of the Caribbean ride, or like you're one of the miners or whatever, one of the sober miners, and like I don't think there's anyone sober in there, but you don't have to like, in order to make progress, you don't have to discount your days into identifying that they all have to be to the point of shit in order to gain like this wonderful, like, you know, whatever's at the end of the rainbow. You don't have to put yourself in this box of this is the way it's supposed to be in order to get there. Like, you can put in the work, but you have to be fair with your value. And yeah, so that's what they're saying. You deserve to be a good boss to yourself, you know. Yeah, set the example. So you gain the maximum levels of productivity there. So, and loyalty. So what are my 3 takeaways, my divine panel? Eight of Cups in reverse, it is the comeback. King of Wands, highly networked, flourishing at that. 3, 4 of Cups. So I want to get a clarifier on the 4 of Cups. The Empress in reverse. There's a lot of messages to this. But in being fair with myself and my value, it's like looking at every other case study that surrounds me, and it's like everybody's going through their own battles, and like they're like every cup for themselves, basically. Everybody's got their own like wave surrounding them. And so you I don't know if I have a part in the 4 of Cups other than seeing that like face value, this is the 4 of Cups, but you don't know if there's a 5th cup that decided to, like, you know, take a nosedive out of there, that sank. And so this is kind of nestling into those intuitive bodies of like what's there for you and what's not. So again, it's kind of housekeeping in its multifaceted form. So the Empress in kind of hanging low and being objective is a standpoint that works very, very well for me in the fact that, like, if these were ducks, then I'm like just taking like a nosedive to like seeing what's out there for sustenance. So I kind of got missed for roll call basically on that level. Not included in that head count because instead of having to deal with the waves on the surface, I'm immersing myself in something that doesn't that has that's more compatible with what my needs are. And there's something going on, like, dude, what is that all about? I think there's just chaos going on the surface for these energetics, and so it's having to say goodbye to a certain collective that just doesn't work for you, or a certain vibe that doesn't work for you. Tina. Clarifier for this Empress. Two of Pentacles in reverse. There are certain things that need to be weighed out for sure. And I don't think this is an area for me to scrutinize over and obsess over. It's just a particular dynamic within the processes. And you know, the Empress has her arms out, kind of like a scale, you see? A reverse scale, you see? So things, this is intimately, like, personal, in weighing things out. Like, this does not involve the input of others, so this is very much a private energy. Okay, do one more on that. Cause these sirens, like, are what? The World card in reverse. So there's an expression of closure on a cycle. Something is being wrapped up. Oh my gosh, it's approaching. Do you hear? It's getting loud. Judgment in reverse. Something is about to go down. Big time. Big time. Okay, I think that's it for now. Thanks very much for all donations provided in and of light and love that reciprocate equally. Now that this reading is officially over, I call back all my energy, essence, gifts, power, strength from those that bring, generate, call upon, cast, or any variation thereof, ill will, intent, and or entities to pass through the white light of the Holy Spirit and Archangel Michael's blue flame for cleansings, for blessings, reformatting to love and light energy, and then to be refortified in me, only me, hassle-free, no doubt, no attachment, except for all bonus points included. Thanks so very much. And now, upon closing the portals in this reading, I send all energies back to their appropriate locations outside of mine with their appropriate karmas due, assisting with a sequence of roll out in light and love. I close the portals in this reading.